Welcome back to the Guardian Protocol podcast, where faith, family, fatherhood, and cybersecurity meet. I'm your host, Kendall, and today we're diving into a topic that hits home in more ways than one for myself: how to treat your home like a SOC, a security operations center. Now, for some, that might sound technical, but trust me, we're going to break it down in a way that strengthens your home, leadership, and spiritual foundation. The role of a SOC, the role of a father. In cybersecurity, a SOC essentially is the command center. It's where threats are watched, analyzed, and responded to. It's where protection before the attack is the goal. As fathers, as leaders of our homes, we have similar roles. Proverbs chapter 27, verse 23 states, "Be diligent to know the state of your flock and attend to your herds." Now, in today's world, your flock is your family and your herd is your household environment. SOC doesn't wait for trouble to show up. It prepares in advance. Just as fathers, we do the same. We stay aware, we stay present, we stay intentional. SOC principle number one, monitoring. A SOC watches its network, not in a paranoid way, but in a proactive, protective way. In the home, monitoring looks a lot like this: being attentive to your kids' emotional rhythms, knowing who they're talking to understand what influences are entering your home, also noticing when someone's spirit is off. For me personally, I'm making my best to do check-ins with my wife and kids. My wife typically tells me what's going on, but the kids, when I'm asking them about their day, how they feel, what's on their mind, do you need anything from me? Every day goes like so, but most of the days, this is typically how it goes. I want to know what thought viruses that are making their way into their minds around the world and things that don't align with family protocols, and make mental notes to do research for understanding and give them clarity on set subjects and advise them that something to engage in or something to not be concerned about, which is establishing a baseline. This isn't surveillance, it's just shepherding. First Peter chapter 5 states, "Be shepherds of God's flock." That is, understand your care and watching over them. A shepherd doesn't micromanages. He watches so he can lead. SOC principle number two, access control. In cybersecurity, access control decides who gets in and who stays out. As a father, access control is setting boundaries with love, being respectful to each other, teaching how to conduct ourselves and understand what's right and what's wrong. Also, managing what content enters your home. Kids can pick up all kinds of trends and bad habits from TVs, friends, peers, and schools. When it shows up, the best you can do is just correct the kids, let them know this isn't the way, and basically how we conduct ourselves. Protecting your Wi-Fi also and your household spirituality. Something can just be kept private. Broadcasting your business or your Wi-Fi, people can get an idea of who you are and what they're dealing with and how you conduct yourselves, which is none of their business. Teaching your family that everything allowed into the mind has influence. Now, this is one thing that my wife's a big stickler on, for not watching certain type of shows, right? And being mindful not to watch them when the kids are around. Honestly, I didn't grow up like that. I grew up watching horror shows, horror movies, action-packed movies and shows. I tend to want to give context to what we may or may not be watching with the kids. And truthfully, they're not really even that interested. My kids are typically into all things STEM related and some Disney movies that we're vetted for them to watch. So that's that, right? Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23 reminds us, above all else, guard your heart, and everything you do flows from it. A good SOC guards the network. A good father guards the heart inside his home. Considering the Bible verse, it's a daily task working through managing emotions with the kids. They're all wise before their times, to be honest with you, but they're also a ball of emotions. But I also have to watch them with their little pettiness and the little, issues that they have with one another. I do my best to separate them and reiterate that all individuals are equal and everybody has the role to play, and just make sure they're looking out for each other, being empathetic, accountable for their actions, and how they treat each other. It's okay to be angry, sad, and upset, but don't target each other. Treat others how you want to be treated, right? SOC principle number three, incident response. Even the strongest defenses get tested. A SOC has a plan for when things go wrong, not if, but when. As a father, we need to have the same mindset. I'll be the first to say my patience always gets tested. How to respond with our kids when they make mistakes. Some days my response isn't so graceful as I like. How do I react when emotions escalate? I do my best. I do my best to keep cool. Some things happen so often I just laugh inside. And how do I handle unexpected crisis? Once again, I do my best together with all the details from all parties, then question them what was their intentions, what better could you do of this next time, and I let my kids know that they're thinkers, engineers, architects, fixers, builders, and problem solvers. There is times where I have no patience for repeated issues when it happens, but then there's times when I have to ask myself, did I teach them how to go about this? If not, then I can't be upset with them, right? Basically, I just recalculate myself, figure out how to teach them that lesson, and show them the boundaries. The incident response of a godly father is rooted in grace, correction, accountability, patience, and restoration. Psalms chapter 103, verse 13 says, as a father has compassion on his children, so the Lord has compassion on those who fear him. Security isn't just about discipline. It's about restoring peace quickly and wisely. SOC principle number 4, regular updates and patches. Technology needs updates. Old versions have vulnerabilities. And in the home, patching looks a little bit like this. Growing spiritually, check-ins with your spouse, reading your Bible, learn new parenting skills. There's some gems out there that can be added to your tool belt. We can always learn something new. I'm a big proponent of you have to master how you get through to each one of your kids. They all learn differently. Kids may learn visually, auditory, written, and kinesthetically. Humble yourself enough to say, I don't know everything. I personally enjoy, though, when my kids ask me questions and I get stuck. Might sound weird, but this is honestly an opportunity to do research and for us to learn together. Apologizing when we fall short. Sometimes you may react without the full story because one kid's crying more than the other and you're missing cues and context to the situation. I know this happens to me often, being that I have 3 little ones. Usually I'll drop to a knee many times and I'll apologize. Hey, buddy, baby girl, I apologize. I didn't understand what's going on. Sometimes, it isn't so easy. What better ways to teach your kids by showing them and giving them context to acknowledging your faults and correcting? Reinforcing rules and principles as your child grows. Sometimes the rules stay the same and times that they're rewritten or fixed to adjust to new situations. This honestly reminds me of folks who point out a lot of conflicts of laws and principles of the Bible. But honestly, from my understanding, I don't know everything, but I do know the Old Testament builds upon the New Testament. A secure home requires a father who stays teachable. Proverbs chapter 1, verse 5 says, let the wise hear and increase in learning. Your growth strengthens your home shield. SOC principle number 5, logging and reflection. SOC logs events so it can learn, improve, and prevent future issues. Us as fathers, you should log too, not necessarily on paper, but in practices. Practices such as daily reflection, self-checks, asking, did I do well today? What can I improve on as a father, as a husband, as a leader, as an individual? Biblical reflection is honestly very powerful. Lamentations chapter 3, verse 40 says, let us examine our ways and test them. Let us return to the Lord. Reflection turns experience into wisdom. Wisdom turns our homes into a stronghold. SOC principle number 6, threat hunting. Threat hunting is proactive. It searches for hidden issues before they become real problems. In the home, threat hunting looks a little bit like this. Checking your child's digital exposure, grabbing those tablets, iPads, looking through those phones. We don't do the phones here for the little ones, just tablets that are monitored. Identifying negative influences, recognizing spiritual attacks disguised as distractions, and also asking deeper questions and paying attention to patterns. Fathers must look ahead, not just around. Ephesians chapter 6, verse 11 states, put on the whole armor of God so you may stand against the schemes of the enemy. A SOC hunts threats, a father hunts wisdom. Conclusion, building a fortified, faith-filled home. Your home is your first SOC. Your family is your first mission. Your leadership is your firewall. Your wisdom is your encryption. And when you blend these biblical wisdom, cybersecurity concept, and various parent advice, past, present, and intentional fatherhood, you create a home that's covered, protected, and guided. One where your children grow with confidence, one where your partner feels secured, one where you stand as both protector and shepherd. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. If this has brought you value, share it with another father, leader, or protector in your life. Till next time, stay wise, stay vigilant, and stay grounded in faith.